Hey guys, drdecks here, and we received a special request. We had a subscriber ask, hey doctor, can you please explain all the different types of drill bits you use? I know this is a really basic video. A lot of people might skip past it, that's cool. But for those of you that find this interesting or that maybe you learned a little something, please click that subscribe button. Even if you didn't learn anything, click that subscribe button anyways, okay? And click the bell icon as well to be notified every time we're putting out new content, which is usually 5 days a week. And most of the stuff that I have around my shop is usually been retired from the job site, but at one point it was really good. For example, this hole saw kit. So I'm going to start with the hole saws. Hole saws make different size holes in material, okay? You can see these are fairly well used, but this set I keep around my shop and I don't take it to work. So there's some that are like brand new, and these will cut really well. Most of my hole saw cutting has to do mainly with wood, and sometimes it's nail embedded, and you can tell by how hammered some of these bits are. But a nice hole saw kit is kind of essential in what we do as carpenters, because sometimes you got to drill a hole 2.5 inches round. You know, you got to get something through there, and you're not going to be able to do it with a standard drill bit like you see in these. We'll get into that in a minute. This hole saw kit's kind of cool. It has a mandrel that pushes in to accept this locking mechanism. So you'll see on the back of the hole saw, they have all these. There's 4 different holes. So the whole idea is you don't spin this thing on to oblivion and then tighten it. That's not how you do it. What you do is you screw it on loose, and then you take this right here and then you slide it in and it locks. Now this thing's locked. The reason you do that is because these things create heat when you start using them on a drill, right? So let's say you're creating a lot of heat, and if you got this thing locked all the way down, you're gonna have a heck of a time getting it apart when it's time to put it away. So if you do it like this, when you're done, this thing just spins right off. So this is probably an $80 hole saw kit from Home Depot, okay? And you know what? That's where I think that's exactly where I bought it. Did you just see that wasp?
It's over there.
Oh man. So we got a nasty wasp issue in the shop. So we're gonna try to not like trip right now, but yeah, don't want to get stung. All right. So what we have here are some, there's many different names for these. A lot of people call these paddle bits. All right. They come in multiples of sizes. We probably use paddle bits 4 days a week, maybe every day that we're working. Probably the most common is 1 inch. So basically, there's different types. Some of them have like a ferruled head or a spiral head that grabs the wood and goes in, and it sucks the bit deeper as you go. Our biggest downfall with these type of bits is nail embedded wood or screw embedded wood, which when we're trying to drill holes for various lighting and that kind of thing, that's what these are used for mostly. Just drilling holes for bolts and things like that. Yeah, paddle bits up to 1.5 inches. So, you know, this could take the place of possibly using a hole saw, okay? So it just kind of depends what you're looking for and your needs. Paddle bits work really good. These are called speed bores. They're made by Irwin. Pretty solid product. I dig them. And there's so many different types of paddle bits out there. But you know, start with a basic set. If you're not sure what to get something with 7, 8 different sizes in it, and then you're not running back and forth to the hardware store getting a different size that you didn't think you needed, but you do. All right. So that's a little bit about those. Something that that I don't use as much, but it's a really cool bit. It's called a Forstner bit. A Forstner bit is designed to cut a really clean hole in timber. So it has a really flat surface, and it's honed out really nice, and it has a shaving head. So when you drill, it starts chipping away at the wood or whatever you're drilling in, and it cuts really nice clean holes into your timber. Sometimes you use it to put dowels. Sometimes I use them when I'm just, if I need a certain size or if I need a really clean hole. One thing you'll notice is a Forstner bit doesn't have a really deep point. So that can come in really handy if you're not trying to drill through the bottom of something. Whereas if I use this bit, it has a much higher hole or a much higher peak. So it's going to punch through the bottom of a piece of lumber where maybe you don't want to punch through the bottom of the lumber. So I would use one of these. I use these a lot when I'm Frenching in my stairlights. Inlight Design makes some really nice millimeter style Forstner bits. So these are work really good on a drill press as well. So those are kind of cool. All right, regular just carbon drill bits. This is a hardened bit. This is actually a locksmith bit. This was about $100. So you can spend a lot of money on a hardened bit that will stay sharp for a very long time. These are designed to drill out lock heads and keyholes and stuff like that. And I end up using it for some really hard decking that I installed on my house one time, and because I was smoking all my drill bits. So that can be a real bummer when you start burning through a ton of drill bits because the material's so hard. So steel works. These work really good for steel. Here's a couple different sizes of those, and they can be titanium, carbide. They can be mild steel, carbon steel. These things are made basically to drill holes through wood and steel and plastics. Okay, and they come in any size imaginable, depending on how involved you want to get. I have a drill index right here, and of course some are missing, and you can kind of see that some of the bits are titanium, some of them are carbon. Usually it's just stuff that we've used, or like a half drill bit set, and all the little ones are gone because those usually break pretty easily. All right, so this was a special hole saw that I bought. This has diamonds. It's diamond tipped. It was designed to drill through like tile, and I was putting in some sinks for my wife, and we had to drill through some granite. So that's what I used this for, was drilling through granite tile. So diamond tip. This was expensive. This was like $50 for this one bit. You can drop a grip of dough. Is that bee in here? Yeah, so if you have different types of materials, like if you're in ceramic tile or granite or stone or stuff like that, then you might look into a diamond tip bit. Last but certainly not least of the bits I have tonight, a tapered pre-drill bit. I suggest everyone that watches this video own one of these, okay? I have a couple different types here. These are probably my favorite. These are, I think this one's made by Irwin. It might be made by Fuller. Or it could be made by DeWalt. Those are the three brands I usually get. You expect to pay $7 to $10 a piece for just the tapered bit. Now, you can take a tapered bit and put a cutter head on it, like this. It's a pre-drill bit and a countersink bit built into one. We use this stuff religiously. Expect to pay, you know, I think you can get 3 of these for $30 at Home Depot in the DeWalt version, which is not bad. It's hard to function in my business without these because they have such a sharp point at the tip, and then they taper out into various sizes. The most common that I use are number 6, number 8, and number 10. And when you're trying to drill through a piece of lumber on an angle, these are invaluable. And then it just creates a nice clean pathway for your fastener to go in. So we'll use these for all of our deck framing screws. And we also use them for our larger construction fasteners as well. So really cool. If you take anything away from this whole thing tonight, get one of these. You'll thank me later. And you can leave that comment right below in the comment section of this video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you picked up something that you didn't know before, or just want to feel like doing me a favor, please click that subscribe button. Also, if you want to be notified every time we put out new content, click the bell icon as well, and you'll get notification of when we put out new fresh videos. Thanks for watching today. Have a great day.